Hey everyone, and welcome back to Whiskey Trek. I'm Jackson. Where's Natalie? Right there. She's right there behind the camera. You can't see her, but she's there. Our wonderful editor is back to her editing duties rather than being the co-host for these few episodes we're going to be filming because it's the Advent Calendar. So last year was obviously new channel, so figuring things out, but we did an Advent Calendar with this box. The box didn't arrive in time to do an Advent Calendar for Advent season, so instead we're taking the 25 samples that are inside the box and splitting them into 5 different groups and doing 5 videos, that's a lot of fives, 5 videos of blinds. I have the answers to each glass in here. We're going to be doing the first 5. It's important to point out there is a group of people doing this as well, so to not spoil the answers, the days have all been mixed together. Natalie knows what's right and what's wrong and whatever. So if you're watching and you're in my friend group and you have this box, you can watch the videos. Days 1 through 5 are not actually going to be glass 1 through 5 on today. So shouldn't be any issue. With that being said, let's go ahead and open the marvelous box with its sometimes annoying but really cool straps. Okay. You probably can't actually see anything in there. So there you go, all of the glasses. These are 1 ounce samples, which is why Natalie's not joining me in this adventure. 1 ounce isn't really enough to split into 2 things to then do a tasting and figure out what's what, so whatever. It is what it is. I have no idea, other than the sample I sent, I have no idea what's in here. All right, so this is glass 1, glass 2, 3, 4, and 5. And with that being said, let's get you out of the way. We've got our nice Whiskey Trek water bottle, so I can take a drink. The answers are in there. Here we go. Just pour all these out and see. How nice. Now, to business. Glass 1. Okay, starting off, musty, like dusty. Not like dusty whiskey, but like it smells like dust. Spice forward with this hint of sweetness, maybe like chocolate. Like baker's chocolate, where it's dry and it's basically 100% cocoa. Not a lot of sweetness, maybe a little bitter actually from that chocolate. And yeah, definitely dry and dusty, it doesn't smell oily or anything like that. Let's give it a taste. Interesting. Okay, on the palate, this peanut buttery note right in the middle, very interesting. It's not super complex. There's flashes of flavor that pop up, bam, bam, and then they're gone. And by the time you realize that there was a flash of flavor, you can't even really recall what it is. It's not nearly as bitter as it was on the nose. On the palate, it's a little bit more middle of the road. This is pretty good. Solid start. I don't really have a guess so far as to what that could be. Glass 2. Okay, this smells great. Ooh, maybe a little finished something? This smells finished. Maybe sherry? It's very sweet and dark, but then there's this bright, almost sulfury note that you get on finished products. And fruity, very fruity. Yeah, very fruity on the palate. Wow. Okay, and then the longer it sits, it's like molasses at the end. This is a weird one. Glass 2 is very interesting. It's not really viscous, but it tastes like a double oaked product. So it feels really low proof. Man, that's something. That's interesting. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of the funkiness on the nose, at least, of a Rebecca Creek 16, where it's fruity, but it's also dark and molassesy, and then also all these other things. It's just kind of culminating. Very interesting. Glass 3. I'm trying to move through these fast because there's 5. That is so young. Wow, that smells like corn. You know what this smells like? This smells exactly like one of our most popular videos, actually. It smells exactly like this. That's what it smells like. It's like corn and black pepper and dirt. I would be shocked if this is any older than 4 years old. I would also be shocked if I get any of these right the entire 25. That doesn't really taste like anything. It's very sweet, but like one note. It's got a nice mouthfeel, but man, that tastes so much like that Jimmy Red. That's so interesting. And not in a good way. It's just interesting that the one thing in my collection that I think sticks out like a sore thumb is right in the middle of the first, that's, okay, weird. Old Forester? Definitely a little bit of banana, but I'm not really getting a lot on those. Let's try twisting it a little bit. Maybe get something better on the nose. It's definitely banana, and then there's a nice, like, rich caramel. It almost smells, again, like a toasted or a double oaked or something like that, because it gets to like this savory note on the nose. There's something savory about it, which I usually get on toasted or double-barreled products, usually toasted. My proof meter is all out of whack. These all drink super low. I've had 2 warm-up pours, both were 100 proof before this, and none of these are like spiking my palate with proof. Okay, that's actually really good though. The spice is coming through now on the back of the palate. Really lingering, nice Kentucky hug. It's not blowing my mouth out though, so I'm not thinking that this is like 125 or anything like that. It could be, and I could just be like totally off right now. It smells like Brown Foreman, but it doesn't really taste like Brown Foreman. And now with the savory note, I'm wondering if this is a Michter's Toasted Barrel, which I've never had, but I could totally see that. A Michter's Toasted Bourbon seems right. All right, last glass. I get nothing on the nose. Nothing. That's so weird. Okay, now I'm getting a little bit of like cola notes, sarsaparilla. It smells kind of like dusty whiskey, but it really doesn't smell like a lot. Here, editor. Does it smell like anything to you? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Yeah. Is my nose broken? I broke my nose. Maybe a palate reset will help.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Let's try that again. Okay, more on the nose that time. Baking spice is the wrong word. It almost smells like thyme? Like rosemary? Yeah, I mean, it smells more like a rye now, but it doesn't really smell like your traditional baking spices rye, like anise or licorice or anything like that. There's a little bit of a pepper in there, but it's not like a green pepper. It's not quite that vegetal. It's not vegetal like that. Let's try it. Oh, that's weird. What? Why did it taste like soap? Interesting. Yeah, it still tastes like soap right up front. That's weird. And then it's all spice at the back. Spice off the finish. And that's like it. Really interesting hug right here. It's still tingling my tongue. That is definitely either a really high content rye, or it's high proof, or it's both. But I don't know if it was the sample bottle or if it was the Glen, but there's something off with that. All right, I've gone through all 5. I'm going to go through them each once again, and then I will give a ranking for each 5, and then I'll try and guess. Probably terribly. Last one. Okay, this actually smells really good. It's lost a lot of that dust, but it still keeps that like kind of core, and which I like a lot. But now it's like old Werther's Original caramel. Okay, on the palate, yeah, Werther's Original candy for days. Still a little bit of dust on the mid palate in the finish. You can definitely taste the corn in that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that's not super old, but I've been shocked before. Glass 2. I'm still getting this weird like combo of like Woodford double oaked levels of molasses and syrup and pancakes, but then also like this out of nowhere left field like finished vibe from it. If pancakes had like real maple syrup, I'm talking like Connecticut or Vermont maple syrup on it, and then you also had like some sort of berry. Like if the strawberries had been soaking in the syrup. That's what this smells like. Okay, and then again on the palate, it's really good, but I can't get over this finished like something. This has gotta be something. That is so interesting. I can't get my mind off sherry, but the more I sip it, the more I'm like, maybe it's not that. Locked in. Okay, I'm convinced this is a Jimmy Red product. I mean, like, I just am. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't even know if I want to drink it again. It was just weird. Corn, pepper, dirt. Yeah. Moving on. Glass 4. Here, smell this, editor. And tell me that doesn't smell like Jimmy Red. Okay, glass 4 still smells like Brown-Forman. I guess it could be Barton. No, it's not Barton. It's definitely Brown-Forman. And I'm gonna look like such an ass when I get that so wrong. The savory note on the nose really died away. It doesn't smell savory anymore. Man. All right, that's good too. It's not very complex. I really thought it would have more, although maybe my palate's being burnt out by running through these so fast. The nose smells really good. I'm not really getting a whole lot on the palate to tell me what it might be. Could be one of the Tennessee Tasters, maybe. And then last but not least, glass 5. Okay, why do I keep going back to that? Ugh, soap. No, bad. You laugh at me, try that. It tastes like soap. It doesn't smell like soap, but it tastes like soap. Right up front, like as soon as it hits your palate, that is weird.
Power of suggestion. I only got it because you kept saying the word soap.
I don't know. Well, that's probably gonna be something really good then, and I look stupid. But to me, it just tastes weird. This is really hard. Like, I have a guess on one, and I have a partial guess on another, and then the other two, I'm like, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna try and not look at it very much. I do have ratings to give out. So first off, glass 1, I think it's solid. I like the nose a lot. I like that dusty note. What I'm not huge on is the palate being pretty one-dimensional. It's super sweet, Werther's original, but then there's not really a whole lot else going on. We're gonna go ahead and give that a grade of 82, so B-. Glass 2. One of those that really kind of threw me. Not really exactly sure what it is. Tastes like a double oak product. Somehow also tastes like finished like sherry or something like that. A little lacking on the finish, mostly because I think it is lower proof. So I'm going to give this a score of 86. So a B+ almost. Glass 3. I did not like glass 3. Glass 3 tasted like corn and dirt and pepper, and that was about it. I'm giving glass 3, I almost lost track. Glass 3 gets a, do I want to be rude or really rude?
Just rude.
65. Seems fair. D. Glass 4. Glass 4 was one that on the nose, I was like, I love Brown-Forman products. And then on the palate, kind of lived up, but I really almost thought I would expect more based on the nose. I'm gonna go ahead and think that that deserves a score of, I'm gonna get it an 85. I'm gonna get an 85, B. It's a solid B, it's good, I liked it. And then glass 5. I did not like glass 5. I thought the finish was extremely hot, not necessarily like proof hot, but spicy and not much else going on. There was this weird soapy note for me up front, which I could not get around. And that kind of ruined the mid palate of having any chance at all. I'm gonna give glass 5 a score of 75? No, that's too high for a soapy note. I'm just being optimistic and thinking that I'm just crazy. If the soap note is wrong, it's a 75. If the soap note's not wrong, it gets a 65. It's the same, I mean, actually that's wrong. I would rather drink this over this because the soap note ruins it so much. So this gets a 60. Oh, guesses. I get 10 seconds to look at the list of bottles. This is in alphabetical order, so this is not in any particular order that they might be in the box. I don't know what's on this list until now, so I get 10 seconds to look at it. All right, 10 seconds starting now. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's what I was gonna guess for that, actually. That's interesting. Oh, no. All right. I didn't really get a chance to know everything on the list. Glass 1. Oof. You know, it's really sad because the only other for sure answer I had on this list was Glass 3 being a Jimmy Red, and I did not see Jimmy Red on that list. So I am wrong on that, and that's disappointing. I don't know if I have another guess. I'm really sure on one, and I have no idea on the rest. So, with that being said, I don't know. So let's find out how wrong I was with my scores and if I got Jack 10 right or not. Okay, glass number 1, OKI single barrel. I've never had an OKI, so there you go. I'm kind of happy with that. I liked that a lot. What? No way. Glass 2 is a 1979 Eagle Rare. What? That's why it's so weird. Well, it got the best score of the day, so that's good. That's why it's so weird. All right, very interesting. Oh, I would not have guessed that. Well, glass 3 is Starlight Bourbon. I don't know if this is any sort of finish or I don't think so. It's just regular Starlight. Okay, regular Starlight Bourbon. Yikes. Glass 4. What? Oh no. Well, I look dumb. But not as dumb as you think, because I would have never guessed this. It's the 2023 Advent Infinity Blend, which is why it's in clear glass. So I'm guessing that that was everything from last year's Advent put together into one to make a sample bottle. So that's kind of cool. Last year's Advent had a lot of good stuff in it too, so that's kind of cool. Well, my only guess of the night was wrong. And last but not least, glass number 5, New Riff Single Barrel. Now, that's very strange because I've had a few New Riff Single Barrels and none of them tasted that hot in the finish and none of them had a soapy note on the front and certainly didn't smell like a rye. So that's weird. Mixed bag for the first night. Very interesting. I will say number 2, holy absolutely fuck! What? A 1979 Eagle Rare? Are you shitting me? My wife hasn't even got to smell or try it yet. There's only a little bit left. Here you go.
Aww.
A 1979 Eagle Rare, and it smells divine. And am I wrong about it smelling like maple syrup and pancakes and berries? It is so interesting. It's so weird. In any case, some amazing, some terrible. Be sure to stick around on Whiskey Trek to view our next few episodes of this madness. I hope you guys have a wonderful time watching. Watch some of our other content. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you guys think. Hopefully you've had better New Riff Single Barrels like I've had better New Riff Single Barrels, or things like Starlight Bourbon that for some reason tastes like Jimmy Red, or maybe you've had an Eagle Rare from 1979 or older. Let us know, because I certainly haven't had anything quite like that. At least for Eagle Rare. I mean, I have had some 1960s bourbon, so that's kind of cool. Little self-brag. All right, that'll do it from us at Whiskey Trek. My name's Jackson. My wife Natalie's behind the camera. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers.